Welcome, my dear sweet friends, to the channel Frugal Money Saver. My name is Emmy, my husband is Paul, and we welcome you. This channel is basically designed to help you have a more abundant, full life while spending less money. We are an early retirement, debt and mortgage-free couple living in the state of New York. Spring has sprung here in New York. Did you see the wisteria? Oh, it is so beautiful. It's got the most heavenly smell. I just had to share it with you. Our bush is in full bloom. The humidity is back. I'm not saying a word, but you know what I'm talking about. So today is Tuesday, which means it is viewer's choice or challenge, and we've got a good one for you today. Let me explain if you are new here. Our Tuesday videos for a while are going to be viewer's choice or challenge. So what we ask is that our viewers send to our email, frugalmoneysaver@gmail.com, any ideas you would like to see us make a video about. It could be a challenge, as today's will be, and you will see that. Or it could just be a topic you would like us to talk about. Tuesdays have become your ideas. But please, again, do not leave the ideas in the comments. Please send them to our email. This way I keep them in a folder, nice and organized. Now, what is today's video? If you saw the thumbnail, you know. We have 3 people, Lori, Amanda, and Marilyn, who suggested we try to cook vegan or vegetarian. Now, you know Paul and I, we eat meat. We don't hide the fact that is who we are. They challenged us to cook some vegan or vegetarian meals. So Paul and I talked and we said, well, if we're gonna do this, let's go full out vegan. And that is what we did. We wanted to find vegan meals that we would eat. You don't wanna cook something and waste it. So they had to be meals we knew Paul and I would enjoy. They had to be uncomplicated. I don't know how to get milk from a cashew and stuff like that. I'm sure I could learn, and I'm sure it's probably pretty easy, but we wanted to keep it simple. We wanted to keep the ingredients simple. We just wanted to make it realistic for non-vegan eaters, and that's who we are. Well, I think we came up with 2 of the most delicious vegan recipes. So we were actually blown out of the water how delicious the food was. And the other thing that I wanted to implement as well was my Insta-Pot. So many of you are saying, if you cook beans, use your Insta-Pot. Paul and I don't eat beans. Well, what we're going to say is Paul and I used to not eat beans. But now, well, that's a whole different story. We used the Insta-Pot, which had been sitting on our shelf. We washed it, we got it out, and here is our first recipe. It is smoky collard greens with black-eyed peas. So I'm gonna turn the camera around and let's get into the kitchen. Our first vegan recipe is going to be smoky Instant Pot, black-eyed peas, and collard greens. Now, you know us, we love greens. We eat escarole beans, we eat spinach, we love greens, and we love collards. So this recipe seemed like it was doable. We had a lot of the ingredients on hand. I'm actually looking really forward to this. We're going to need a tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil, 1 onion that we're going to chop up. We chopped up a sweet red pepper that we had in the freezer. We're going to use 2 cloves of garlic, 1 1/4 cups of the dry black-eyed peas, which we had bought a while ago. I think they were 50 cents a bag and we had stuck them in the cabinet. Now's a perfect time to use it. It did call for 2 teaspoons of smoked paprika. I'm using 1 teaspoon. It's just a taste preference. It also called for liquid smoke. We don't have it, and it's not something we would use again, so I think we're okay without it. We have a 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne, a tablespoon of tamari, which I'm super excited about because that is what we use and it's vegan. Salt and pepper to taste, and 3 1/2 cups of vegetable broth. I know I could have made my own vegetable broth, Please, we do understand that. I have tons of broth in the freezer. It is chicken and beef, and of course that wouldn't work. So I didn't feel like the $2 for organic low sodium vegetable broth would break the bank, and I think it will be absolutely delicious. And we also need 6 cups of shredded collard greens. I'm going to link the original recipe. It also shows you how to do it on the stovetop if you don't have an Instant Pot. But I never use mine, and you all tell me how much you love yours. So today's the day we're putting it to work. I just pushed the saute button on my Insta-Pot. Now I'm going to put in 1 tablespoon of really good olive oil. Please, I know it costs a little bit more, but a really good first cold pressed olive oil, just delicious. Now to that, I'm going to add my onions, and I am going to saute these until they are translucent. Those sauteed nicely. Now I'm going to add our cut up red pepper, and I'm going to add 2 cloves of fresh pressed garlic. Wow, that was a tough one. That was hard. And now I'm just going to saute this. It's just a few seconds. Now I'm going to add the 3½ cups vegetable broth. I just canceled the saute, so now it shows it's off. We're going to add the 1 teaspoon of smoked paprika, the 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne pepper, called for a tablespoon of tamari. I'm going to put in a teaspoon. And I'm going to add the 1¼ cup of black-eyed peas. We're going to give this a good mixing. It smells smoky already. And now I'm just going to take the bag of collards, and I am going to put them right on top. Don't stir the collards. Let the collards just sit on top of the other ingredients. Lock my lid into place. Make sure that's locked. The top is closed. I am going to go to pressure cook, and I'm going to go to pressure level, which is high pressure. That's what I want. And I'm going to put it on for 17 minutes. And that's all we have to do. That is it. How easy was that? And then what we're going to do is naturally release it for 15. But let's come up to the 17-minute pressure first. That's it. Using dried beans. This is so much fun. I just turned the bag of black-eyed peas over. Yes, we paid 49 cents a bag. We bought 2 of them. The 17 minutes are up, and it just beeped. Now I am going to let this sit and natural release for 15 minutes. Not going to touch it. So this naturally released for 15 minutes. I'm one of these people who are afraid of their Insta-Pot. So I'm just going to see if there's anything left in there. Just a little bit. So we're going to let that come down completely so that little silver button in the back drops down. And there it goes. Again, I'm afraid of my Insta-Pot. All right, so there we go. I'm going to remove the lid. Gently, that steam coming out of there is going to be hot. Let's give this a good mix now. This smells so good. This was so easy. I'm not kidding. I hope the beans are tender. So I am going to scoop a bowl of this up with some bread on the side, and we are going to let you know how it is. Okay. Let's get a little juice in there too. We plated up some French bread with this. I think this would be awesome over brown rice, white rice. Now, from what I understand, I looked at the ingredient list, I looked it up, and it looks like French bread is vegan. We wanted to keep it as authentic as possible. So Paul is going to give this a taste and let you know what he thinks.
Okay, I'm going to try the collard greens and beans and all this good stuff. This is wonderful. I love collard greens, so this is going to be a treat. That's awesome. Wow, is that awesome. I don't really eat beans, but I think I'm going to have to now. These are absolutely delicious. A little bit of heat that's got that smoky, slight bite from the heat, garlic, the onion, everything. This is a meal. This is really, really good. You got to try it. Delicious.
That was 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 thumbs up. So delicious. After Paul tasted it and I filmed him and he was like really enjoying this, I'm like, okay, well, we love greens like I had said, and collards when we go down south, oh my goodness. But they put bacon in it, you know, there's a lot of stuff. Well, when I tasted this, I was shocked. I had to stop myself from eating. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so good. And then we were dipping the bread in the juice and it was just heavenly. It tasted like restaurant quality. Again, I will link the original down below. We tweaked it a little bit here and there, like I didn't add the liquid smoke. I went a little bit less on the smoked paprika. We really stuck close to that recipe. The only thing, and Paul was in agreement, I think I would have used a little less beans. 1.25 cups was a lot of beans. I almost would cut the beans back a little more and add more greens. That's what I would do. But everything else was spot on. And it made a beautiful pot of it. There was definitely servings for like 4 or 5, no problem. So good. Are you ready to get back into the kitchen? Now we are going to be making our second vegan meal. It is going to be a black bean burger made with brown rice and walnuts and all kinds of yummy spices. This sounds so good. We're actually excited. This is our second night now, and we're like ready for this. We're like, yeah, go vegan. So we hope you enjoy this one as well. We're going to turn the camera around. Let's get in the kitchen. The next yummy meal we're going to be making are veggie grill burgers. Now these are supposed to be able to hold up on the grill. We're going to make them in the frying pan though, just because it's a little bit more convenient right now. So what we need is 1/2 cup of brown rice, 1/2 cup of walnuts, about 1 tablespoon of olive oil, 1/4 onion diced. Then we have 1/2 tablespoon of chili powder. It called for 1/2 tablespoon of cumin. I did a little bit less. Cumin is not our favorite. 1/2 tablespoon of smoked paprika. And then we have 1/2 tablespoon of turbinado sugar. I didn't realize white sugar was not vegan. Neither is honey because it comes from bees. And I guess the way they process white sugar, there could be issues. So I looked it up and turbinado sugar looked like it was okay to use. I have 3/4 cup black beans that were canned that I rinsed well and pat dry. They said you really want the beans nice and dry. I have 2 tablespoons and 2 teaspoons of panko. Make sure yours is vegan. And 2 tablespoons of either ketchup or barbecue sauce. Again, make sure it's vegan. And that's our ingredient list. Let's make some veggie burgers. First thing we're going to do, heat up a pan to medium. And I'm going to add my 1/2 cup of walnuts. And I am just going to toast them for about 5 minutes, constantly turning them and watching them. So we toasted these for 5 minutes. Now you don't need to add oil to the pan, nothing like that. They just kind of toast themselves. What they want us to do is take the walnuts and let them cool while we go on to the next step. Now I heated up just a little bit of olive oil in a pan. And I'm going to saute my onions just for about 3 to 4 minutes until they are nice and soft. In a blender, a food processor, I'm using my little NutriBullet. We're going to put our cooled walnuts. We're going to put the turbinado sugar, the cumin, paprika, and the chili powder. And we are going to grind this into almost like a paste. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Kind of holds its shape a little bit. I hope I did that right. We're going to set this aside for a minute now. In a bowl, you're going to place your 3/4 cup of rinsed and dried beans. And we're going to mash them. And they said to just leave a couple whole. So I'm going to go ahead and give these a good mashing. They're nice and dry, which is good. I guess that's how we wanted them. And I'll leave a couple whole. So we mashed up the beans. I'm going to add the half a cup of brown rice, the sauteed onions. Make sure you get everything. We don't waste anything. All delicious flavor. The walnut mixture is going to go in as well with all the spices. I'm curious. What do you think, Paul?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what comes out.
Going to put the panko in. And we're going to put the ketchup in. You could use barbecue sauce as well. And it says to now mix it together for 1 to 2 minutes. So I guess you really need to have to incorporate this well. And that's what I'm, whoop, food is flying. You're in Emmy's kitchen. You know you're in my kitchen when food is flying. So I'm gonna incorporate this for 2 minutes. So here's our mixture. I think it looks pretty well incorporated. They're forming beautifully and they're not sticking. Now we don't like very thick burgers. They said to make it like 3/4 inch. I'm gonna say, how does that look? I think that looks pretty good.
Good.
Okay, so I'm going to make these, and then I have a little olive oil heating in a pan. Now we halved the recipe because there's just the 2 of us, so it made 3 really nice burgers. They are holding together beautifully. Now over medium heat, I'm going to cook them 3 to 4 minutes each side. These cook for 3 minutes on one side. I'm giving them a flip. Oh, these look good. I'm gonna give it a little squish down. Maybe I shouldn't, but these look and smell really delicious. So let's see what happens. Here they are. They're absolutely beautiful. They held their shape. And what I want to do is taste them like this. We're going to add lettuce. We're going to add tomato. We're not going to put it on a bun, but I want to taste it just like this without anything on it to really give a good evaluation.
Yeah, that sounds like a great idea. Definitely.
So let's try this. We got our taste tester.
Vegetable burger. First time ever. Let's try it.
Be honest.
Yeah. Honestly, it's fantastic.
Really?
The flavor is unbelievable. Yeah. You know what you could do with this? You could wrap this up in a tortilla with chopped up lettuce and...
Great idea.
You know, it's delicious. It really is. This is fantastic.
Which did you like better, the collard or this?
Oh my goodness. Where's the collards? Get them on the plate.
Oh yeah, that's good.
This is delicious. You got to try it. Thumbs up.
Another recipe that knocked it out of the park. We didn't eat it with rolls. I put tomato on it. We put lettuce on it. Oh, it was so delicious. Okay, you guys have all been keeping these vegan recipes super secret because this one was another delicious, delicious entree. Really good. We served it with corn on the cob, which was a perfect accompaniment. We didn't even put butter on the corn on the cob. Just so you know, try to keep it true. This was another delicious recipe. We will make both of these. Again, these are going to go into our rotation. That's how much we enjoyed it. Today's question of the day, and I think you know what it's going to be. What is your favorite meatless meal that you make all the time in rotation? It doesn't have to be vegan because the price of meat is going up, up, up. And we really need these alternatives. So if you would share that for us, nothing too complicated. It could be just a simple recipe or a simple suggestion of what your favorite meatless meal is. It will encourage us and it will encourage our viewers. So we thank you, Lori, Amanda, and Marilyn, again for giving this suggestion for Paul and I to do a couple of vegan meals. We were pleasantly surprised and it was really rather eye-opening. So thank you. Don't forget, Tuesday's viewer choice or challenge, whatever you want, send it to our email. Tell us what you want to see. We'll make a video, give you a shout out. Thank you again for everyone watching this. We appreciate you so much. If you have not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Come on in and be part of our Frugal family. Give us a big thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, which we really hope you did. We hope it was encouraging. We ask you to be safe. We ask you to stay well. Remember, we love you, and above all, we wish you blessings. We'll see you Friday. Dixie, Mommy just got up for a minute and you are right here. Look at this. How does she know her head goes on the pillow? Okay, how does she even know that? What are you doing, you little girl? Again, you're on the... Dixie.